home and the workplace. The protection from COVID evolved from the culture of interdependence of safety and COVID protection. The gradually imbibing a practice of culture of self-prohibition. Needless to mention that we have now become little more disciplined, and we have to keep ourselves off from vulnerable behaviors causing potential transmission of the disease to others. Therefore, we have a lot of expectations, as we have heard from the opening session, various prevention and protection measures. We have enough to hear from our learned, distinguished panelists, and we're looking forward to explore new opportunities, directions to establish practices in the workplace and in personal level. And we expect that the session will give us a lot of values practice in our day-to-day life, both in family and at the workplace under the new normal. I only can say, please stay safe, stay well, and a very, very happy Durga Puja and Navaratri to you all. Friends, we have in the technical session eminent and distinguished panelists from all walks of the life.
Mr. Mukherjee, your audio has got.
I'm sorry. I don't know where from. We have 5 distinguished panelists, and we will start with Dr. Kaustubh Dalal. Dr. Dalal is currently at Sweden. He will be talking from his Sweden residence. He is a PhD and a well-known person and leading researcher in the field of health economics and systems, injury prevention and safety promotion. He has been working as a senior advisor of WHO CCSP, International Safe Community Certifying Center, for more than 12 years. He was the director of the Center of Injury Prevention and Safety Promotion, Oberoi University. It will take a lot of time if I go on with the achievements what Dr. Dalal has in his kitty. I will just mention a few words. He was adjudged the outstanding leadership and dedication in injury prevention and safe promotion. He got the Distinguished Career Award from WHO. He has more than 200 publications, and he has research collaboration in more than 40 countries. And I had the opportunity of listening to Dr. Dalal once. So I will feel that the entire audience will be greatly benefited with Dr. Dalal's exposure and his thoughts on the subject. So welcome, Dr. Dalal, and over to you to continue the platform. Dr. Dalal, please. Dr. Dalal, kindly unmute.
I already unmuted, isn't so?
Now you are audible.
Yes. Namaskar and good morning from Sweden. So what I am delighted to listen in the morning session, the practical issues from India and especially from Dr. Kakawami. And thanks ICC for organizing this very pertinent and very important seminar today. And thanks everyone who has organized it and invited me. I'm very happy to share my experience. Due to short of time, I cannot share all my experience because so far I had traveled and had research or policy advocacy in 52 countries. but which will be very pertinent based on Kakoami's baton where he has left. I will try to carry forward. So let's start today morning. Just a second. I can make it. Okay. So here is our life. Here is our home. We born, and through the passage of time, we are going to schools and then work and then for family, and then we are resting in peace. And so life goes on. So this is in short, our very short. Even we are thinking, we are planning, we are doing so many things, but in very short, in very small picture, we can explain our life. So based on that experience, where we are. So here is the human being. We are here, and we are surrounded by different environment. For example, traffic. If you go out of your home, you will be exposed to traffic. You are at a work, schools, trade and services, sports, and all those environments are there. And all these environments are actually surrounded by our society we belong. So the society we belong in Sweden is different than the society we belongs in Calcutta. So accordingly, all the environment changes. Physical environment and socioeconomic environment. These two environments always changes and actually has huge impact on our health and safety behavior. That I will come very shortly. So here is what we demand from our life. Actually, genetically, we got something from our parents and from our families. And also we are personally.
আমি ওই আমার পাওয়ার পয়েন্টটা একটু পাঠিয়ে দিয়েছি, লেট হলো, ওটা একটু ব্যাকআপ।
Sorry.
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা আচ্ছা,
Sorry, please unmute. I don't know who is speaking now. Please unmute. Yes. So personally, we are acquiring, and this acquiring, what we are acquiring from our family, especially from our parents, and then from our families, extended families, all those. I'll come to that. But it's the most important thing that, as especially in the Indian subcontinent nowadays, I am not denying the huge and rich history we had forgotten, but nowadays, the last few decades, we are very poor in this field because everyone is pushing the kids and the children to acquire only to be first. So they are not acquiring any life skill, they are not acquiring any safety issues, they are not acquiring any morality, anything. So all these individual determinants of health actually has another level of impact on our society. And that's why the society we are belonging now is, to me, to my perception, is detrimental. We are just living the lives. We are not enjoying our lives because we have completely forgotten and we completely undermine to create the safe and healthy environment for our living. And here we had the home, the road, the schools and universities, the workplace, and again we are coming back to home. And all those actually are surrounded by the community we are belonging. So the concept we got here actually has modified to a new normal situation that's known as community. Even under this COVID situation, here you can just consider your own situation. The area you are living, if your community is supporting you, you are very happy. You have less stress and you are little bit safer. But the community you are belonging, if that is not supporting according to your thinking or according to this picture, you are not safe. So that is why even we are starting from home, road, schools, workplace, home. With this periphery, the community is the most important thing. I am repeating, the most important thing. So where we are belonging to the communities individually, here is our body. Consider this is your body. Even the parents give us the birth, that is their body. This is my body, your body. And when your body, you have the mind and you have the spirit. And here is your smiling face. But when there is no synchronization between these three, then you are unhappy. And most of the time, because now we don't have a lot of time, but afterwards, if you have time, please think that if you are not feeling safe, the first thing this synchronization between your body, your mind and spirit goes to turmoil. That means safety is, even we just think this is a 6 letters word, but this actually surrounded our whole body, our whole community, our whole nation. You can explain it in any way. So when we are thinking this safety, actually it belongs to your individual level, socioeconomic level, environment level, but most importantly, the bottom, the base is your community. The community you are belonging is actually giving you the smile or the stress. So that is why when someone started to think from the rural areas, they started to think that maybe in Calcutta, we have better life, we have better safety. That is why they started to move from rural area to Calcutta. And that is why the urbanization is improving and increasing rapidly. And when it's increasing rapidly, the environment is getting worse. And when the environment is getting worse, the signal is not reaching to the rural people. And that is why the rural urban migration is inflowing. Even the smile is vanishing from the urban society because of we completely failed to create the safe community. We completely failed to create our safer environment, both at the individual level, at the socioeconomic level, and at the community level. And that you are imagining every day during the COVID. And now I am just giving one example. Everyone in this Indian subcontinent, we are discussing more and more about this COVID and about blah, 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 everything, disease. We are very scared about the disease, but no one except few persons like Dr. Sen or some team in IIT Delhi, we don't care about injury. But 2015 with the chair of WHO Community Safety Promotion Center, Dr. Leif Bastrom, we estimated the burden and how much India has spent in 2015. Just can you imagine? It's almost 3.2 trillion Indian money. In 1 year, we had lost that amount of money. But how many of you, how many of the media, or how many of the educated, so-called educated persons are considering that yes, injury is the greatest challenge in Indian society? Why media is covering other issues, other diseases, not the injury? If there is any road crash, it's we are just covering, okay, 100 deaths or 20 deaths. Death is not a signal to the community. Rather, the injury problem is the signal to the community. But you cannot guarantee that if COVID, you had the vaccine for COVID, next year we should be prevented. But you cannot guarantee that in 2022 or 2023, there should not be another COVID-10 or COVID-12. You cannot guarantee. You cannot guarantee that if you follow all the lifestyle procedure recommended by health promotion authorities, that you should not generate the hypertension or diabetes. But for injury prevention, we, the scientists, we can assure you that injuries are preventable and it's 100% preventable. There are many countries who set zero vision. For example, in Sweden, last year, there was only 70 road crashes and only 1 death. So it's almost zero. And the number of cars is much higher, per capita number of cars is much higher in the Nordic countries. So that means if we have the willingness, we can save this amount of money. So when the policymakers, even at the industry level, you are always scratching your head for saving money. And when someone is asking, or Dr. Sen is asking that I need this money to make injury prevention activities or make this segment safer, the authority is scratching money. Oh, we don't have money. But we, from the SAFE community, we are arguing that no, you have the money, but you don't know how you can save it and put that money in another aspect. That is why we need your support. Mind the gap. You are losing that money. We know how to stop the leakage. You are losing that resources. We know how to save the resources. You are active, but you don't know how to mind your gap. Sorry for my very top word. And here is the home. So now I start from home. And in home, we have the children, elderly, adults, food, kitchen, all those issues. Children, I come later. But elderly, and when I was last time in ICC, I told about it, that why in the urban areas, almost, at least you can ask yourself, you know at least two persons at the old age, they fall down and they have broken their hips or knees, and that's one of the major cause of death. And imagine, ask your grandpapa, grandmama, or your papa or mama, when they were at the rural areas, they did not have these heavily concreted floors. What is the heavily concreted floors? That means you are using the stones. And you already read it in class 8 or class 9 physics from the Newton's third law, that if you hit with 1, you will return back 1. So if the floor is by soft, like mud floor, if you fall down, the mud will absorb your energy and it will return back maybe 60% or 40%. So chance of breaking your hips is much lower. And now with the money in your pocket, you are making your floors with stones. The highest resistance it has. So if you put 1, you will return back 1. And from the Newton's third law, you know that if your weight is 60 and if your speed is even 3, so you are actually pressing with 180. So you are getting back 180. And that is why your bones are breaking, because you are not taking vitamin D. You are not taking sufficient calcium. So your bone density is already very, very poor. So when your bone density is poor and you are falling, post-menopause phase, and for the men, it's at the elderly when your bone density is poor, so it's automatically the bone is breaking. But we all knows it. The doctor knows. You know it from your class 8 or 9 physics. But you are not thinking that why I am putting this stone in the Thakurghar or where I'm the most auspicious place, and you are falling down there. The food safety, you know what's happening. Kitchen is one of the dangerous place for adult and for the children. Especially now the winter time is coming. So I'm coming a little later. And the chemicals. In these rural areas, even in the urban areas, in the slum areas, so many children occasionally drink kerosene or petrol because they could not identify. The bottles are almost same. Even in you can ask your friends, and within your surroundings, there are so many incidences that instead of baby food powder, they have used the soaps, the sunlight soaps at night, because the mother could not identify because she was sleepy. So many issues happening, and those chemicals, if you just put a clear indication, then it could be. I can remember that in the rural areas, the urea and the salt were keeping in the jute bags side by side. So most of the time they were mixing those two because sometimes they could not identify. So all those simple issues, if you just clearly write it down, you can save yourself. Even at your kitchen cabinet, sometimes you mix between coriander and cumin powder. Why did not you write it? It's very simple. If you write this is coriander, this is cumin, you'd never mix those two. So my argument is the sweet home. We all know this home, my sweet home. Is it sweet home or is rather a sour home? So if it's a sour home, because it's an unhealthy home, because of so many stress and all those issues, I'm coming back, an unsafe home. Most of the injuries nowadays in India and in Nepal and Pakistan, except Bangladesh, because Bangladesh has come very fast forward with injury prevention activities. So most of the homes are now unsafe homes because we never imply our basic knowledge to our behavior. And what are the common injuries at home? Slips and trips, fall, poisoning, fire, burn. If earthquake, we don't know where to keep everything. Animal bites, and so on. You can add the list. But how about the child safety? Because children is our next generation. I always argue everywhere, in every Ministry of Health, that we should not focus on ourselves, rather we should focus on our children. Because when we will be old, and with this medical intervention, we now the average longevity has improved a lot, around 80. So we are retiring at 60. So the next 20 years, this generation, how we build the children, actually they will give us the service back. We actually forget this basic, very basic human life chain activity. And that is why we are all suffering. We are pushing our children just read, read, and read without any basic life skill, without any morality and all those issues. So when they are being adult, they are returning us. They are not, you know it, they are not looking care of, they are not taking care of their parents. So why? Because we build them like this. So that is why I always argue, invest a lot on the children. And how the child safety? Chemical poison medicine. Most of the time, the children take the pills or the other chemicals because just lack of supervision. If you think that you cannot supervise, you put in a higher place or in somewhere, you cut off the exposure. Fall. Fall is a very natural, even if a small elephant, a baby elephant fall, a baby and any baby animal fall. So it's part of the nature. But what is problem for the human being is the environment, the built environment, we make it unsafe. Because we put we all love the children, the kids, and we after adoring or cuddling, we put the children on top of the bed. So it's a 4 feet height. And we are going to collect the water or collect something. And the baby is crawling and falling from 4.5 feet. So it's a very good exposure for head injury. And hot substance. Now the winter season is coming. You will find in every area, in every community, there is one burn case of the kids from the hot water. Because most of the time when the mama is putting the baby on back and then everything is there, the hot warm water is there because it's winter time, and then she went out to collect the towel or something others, and then the boy or the girl is crawling and put the hand on this burning water. It's every community element, community incidents. But it's very simple. You collect everything first, and at the last you collect the hot water. Then everything solved. You did not need any money, you did not need anything, just the awareness that the hot can be dangerous for my kid, so I should bring it when I can supervise it. It's very simple. It's a chance of electric shock, it's a chance of choking. And there are so many choking incidents. You can now this winter season is coming, and you'll find so many news in the newspaper. And the very golden rule is just use the kid's thumb like this. And if this is smaller than her area, it can choke. So all those elements around the baby, you should remove it, which is smaller than her palm. Pinching in the window, in the doors, it's very common. So if you have a stopper, even if you put one brick so that door cannot come, then you can save the fingers from pinching. Sharp instrument, you can put it, and the fire. So a poor family, I give one example because every time I spoke with the policymakers in India, the first thing, oh, we don't have money, we don't have money. So I gave this example to all the low income countries. This is one example from Bangladesh, and very far, it's near Sherpur, near just below Assam. So what's the common phenomena for the kids burning? Because the mother is collecting water, and here is the oven, and the boy, because the boy imitate, the girls imitate from the fathers and mothers. So what this small child has learned, she or he tried to implement it and exposed herself towards the fire. Or if the mother is busy at cooking here, the boy can crawl, especially during monsoon season, go out and fall in the water. And even 6-inch water is enough for the death. 6-inch water is enough for a crawler's death. So what's happening? Just look. They created this mud well with a small door. It did not need any money. It just needs the willingness. And the boy is already tied with a rope. So the boy cannot go and exposed him for the drowning. So with one small environmental change, the mother herself is safe, the boy himself is safe, completely safe. Now my question is, all the distinguished listeners for this conference or this seminar, did it need huge money, or does it need only awareness and willingness? Now I come into road. Remember, my teacher in the road safety, Professor Dinesh Mohan and Susan Baker, they told me at the very first day that people born to do the mistake. Because we in media and in the policymakers, we always blame to the person who is injured or died from the road crashes. But remember, we born to do the mistake. The scientist and the policymaker role is to make the environment or rules such a way we should not do that mistake. And what's the road scenario in India? Every 3 minutes, one death. So I spoke almost 15 minutes. Already one person, has, 5 persons has died in India. But in the corona, until 14th October, every hour there is only 13 deaths. Now, how many time you are spending in your life during last 6 months or 7 months for corona, and how small time you discussed for the road traffic injuries or road crashes. So are you believing yourself that you are an educated and sensible person, or you are guided by the media? This is a simple statistics is showing that how uncareful we are. But the road injuries are 100% preventable. I gave you the evidence from Sweden. I can give you the examples from other countries, from African countries also, but now I don't have time. So just simple things. Speed. We all like to drive speed, but remember, it's the press and the car wheel. Car has no brain, or motorbike has no brain. So if you speed, it will go. But speed has a blindness. But at the same time, you should remember that how speed matters. If you hit me by a car with the speed of 30 km per hour, the chance of death is only 1%. So 9 out of 10 pedestrians survives. Just if you make it little earlier. So I just try to remind you that speed just not a disease or not a number. Speed is something extra. Look, if you make 30 to 45, 50% chance of death. And 45 to 60, only 1% chance of survival. Just imagine, I double the speed, the chance of death improved, just opposite. Here, 9% is surviving, 1 is dying, and here 1 is surviving, 9 is dying. and I just double the speed. So speed is just not a disease or number, it's something extra. And now I come with the very simple that look, we are basically animal. We can say that we are civilized, so-called civilized animal, but here is the example of our civilization and being the animal. Look the animals and look the human beings. Look the animals, look the animals. And when the volunteers ask, because he has we always have some argument. So when we asked the volunteer asked that he told that he is in a hurry and so he must be at the office, otherwise he will not get the money. And when we convinced, look how he is carrying. So what do you explain? How do you explain it? I don't have time today, but we can explain another day. And how protective we are, because I try to create some jiggle. How protective we are. We are really protecting, or the parents, being a father and mother, we are pretending that we are protecting, but actually we are making them unsafe. So here is a very fantastic example. And we are innovative, no doubt. We are very, very innovative. We are very, very innovative, no doubt. I salute the innovation. We are very, very. But where is the effectivity? Here is one example from Nan, the north province of Thailand. It's like Susunia in West Bengal. Hilly areas and a very tough lifestyle. But every kids, look, even the toddler, receive one helmet. And the citizen has sponsored it. They gave the money to the mayor. And with this, so they promised me, because Nan is one of my favorite place, that how they incorporated being very poor, how they incorporated safety in their daily life, how they incorporated injury prevention in their daily life. And everyone is smiling there. If you go to Thailand, don't go to Bangkok or Pattaya. Rather, you go to Nan and learn from there that what they have done. And if you need help, ask me, I will arrange your trip there. So what we have found, I have so far evaluated more than 200 safe schools, that children are not just for little adults. Everything we planned for ourselves. We forget that children need their environment, children need everything for themselves. Everyone sitting opposite my screen, ask yourself that what you had made for your children. Rather, every time, especially in Bengal, every time we said no, no, no. Apart from saying no, what you have done for your children? What environment you had created for your children? Nothing. So there are strong correlation between injuries and your socioeconomic status, age of child, and which development stage the child is, and the interaction with the world. So the interaction with the world we are giving nowadays, the current parents in West Bengal are giving the interaction of the child to the world is completely detrimental. We are just saying no. Rather, we are giving the mobile phones or the new gadgets. And the brain size in the medical college, we had the report that the brain size of 13, 14 years old teenager is exactly like 60 years old person. The brain shrinked because of overusing of mobile phone. Children are at greater risk, but we simply implement injury prevention strategies designed for adults. So we need to think how the schools should be for the children, how the factory, yes, I'm coming to that, how even the factory environment, we can think for the children. The school safety. From the school safety, we had the injury, infection, food, and bullying. This is one of the greatest challenge for every children, the bullying or the ragging. 2.2 million children under the age of 14 sustain school injuries. And how many we are affected by the COVID? Just compare and tally the data for that why we are so panicked by this pandemic. I'm not undermining, but think that how we behave. So here is one example from Japan. these small children, they are actually auditing the safety issues in and around schools and road to and from home, and they are reporting at the school, and the school is reporting to the authority, and they are cleaning it, and they are managing it, they are making it safer. So why we can, do you think it needs money? It does not need money. It just needs the awareness, and it needs the willingness. And here I am coming to the work session. We are here, this new normal situation. So work, every work has injury, stress, job-induced disease, post-traumatic stress disease, disorder, emotional abuse. This is very common in Indian subcontinent, very common. And it has huge detrimental effect. In the next slide, you see sexual abuse, exposure to hazards, and work-family relational impact. This is a challenge nowadays. I know you are dealing with COVID. The ICC, you please come up to make a better environment where the work-family relation could be improved. And how? Because look, these top 10 countries where the work-life balance is the best. And this is from the OECD countries. Here, they spend more than 50% of their time for the families or for leisure. And how much time we in Calcutta or in India spend for work? More than 50% time. Starting from home, return back to home. More than 50% time we are spending for work. And that is why the productivity is slowing down, getting lower. And how? Because the amount of quality of leisure time is very important. Turkey has spent more than 63% for work within the OECD and EU network. 63% for work. And that is why look their productivity. And here, there's in Netherlands, even in Sweden now they have a plan in Gothenburg. They have planned at the community level that they would have 3 days in a week as holidays. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is holiday, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday holiday. And they found the productivity improved for a short time. And also they reduced the working hours to 6 hours. And the productivity almost doubled. So when we are not thinking of quality of leisure, we are actually undermining the physical health, mental health, and overall well-being. When you are not providing the overall well-being for your employees, you are not getting the productivity. You are getting the service, and that is not 100%. So you are actually losing a huge money. So you are losing the healthy days. You are losing the productivity, and you are losing the income. But at the end of the day, safety is the only wheel who is carrying the whole well-being for your company, for your community, for your country. And this safety is both at the individual level and at the environmental level. So please don't forget that safety is the most important wheel for our life. And actually, nowhere except in some occupational safety training courses, nowhere in Indian academic syllabus we have uttered the word safety. So here is the family, extended family. I'm coming later. So here is the the girl becomes the mother or the boy becomes the father, and so there is the relation between them. So extended part. So apart from the family, we had the work for the fathers, the culture we are borrowing, the culture who are at the 50s or 60s or 70s. You know that how every 10 years the culture is changing in India or in West Bengal. So the extended families, the school, we are the main 2 pillar where this circle is hanging, neighborhood or the community, and the religious organizations. They play a tremendous role on this structure. So the work actually guides the culture you provide. The new normal situation, how your work stress is giving you the notion or the pressure that you should sit in front of your table and work, or you should go, forget about things. Even Dr. Kakawani has presented some fantastic examples, but that's the evidences. That's not universal application. And when that's not the universal application, this work actually defining your culture, defining your neighborhood, and defining your family life. And when you are thinking about this family life, don't forget the systematic review or the systems where the family is actually defining the parents defining the children, and it influences each other, which has a huge impact on occupational environment. Don't forget the person you are employing, she or he is also someone's mother, someone's father. She or he has the family back of her or his mind, or back of his or her head. So if you underestimate that, you can never ever get the full productivity. You will never ever get the full resources from that person. So workplace and other individual has also big impact on the parent and so the child relationship. And what is happening? These circle actually have overall control of our external and internal family and community level. So this also has big impact on occupational health and safety. Don't undermine it. And if you undermine it, look what the India is passing. And because it's very sensitive, so I did not give example from China. But still, under this COVID situation, a couple of regions is reportingly me what they are doing and how they are improving their situation. So I can't give it today because of shortage of time or due to this India-China relationship. But they're doing fantastic. Just they put huge impact here. And this occupational health and safety always has big importance on the community. On the other hand, the community can return back the occupational health and safety because the community you are belonging, your factory is there, your office is there, your employees are there. And this occupational health and safety can give you a better family parent children relationship, which actually gave a better school, better work, and better family. So these are very interconnected. We had completely undermined it, underestimated it. That's why we are suffering. Very simple. So here is our life: born, papa, and the death. Now the safety culture. Why you want, even within ICC, why you are not developing the safety culture? When we can discuss. Last time I was there, you invited me, I invited you to build up something, and then something COVID came. But we can restart again. Think for the children, because I repeat again, they are our next generation. Not only next generation, after 20 years, they will guide us. And you spend almost same time with your colleagues. So they are your extended family. Don't forget it. This is my philosophy. I spend more than 8 hours with my colleagues and almost 8 hours with my family member. So it's 50-50. If you had bad environment with your colleagues, you must have bad environment in your children, on your children, and for the safety culture on your family. And that's why safe and healthy workplace is the key to your families, to your communities, and to India. So smile, please. It matters, because even at the morning, if you just ask, how are you? That's not all. Smile. Smile matters. So here is my poem. Time is short, so much to work. One is short. We need torque. Join your hands. Have you ever seen how the smooth sands rain the splashy ocean? Work is just a part. Human life and nature. Let child to push the cart. Make it a safe culture. Join your hands. Make out of sands a safer, safest. My deepest heart request. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dalal. It's a complete new dimension. And we heard you before also. And I'm sure that with your uh, looking around differently, we will definitely have room to uh, believe that the safety, community, and environment, growing up of children is a part and parcel of our life. And in ICC, we have started looking at the children's perspective development and awareness development of, building up of children in the concept of safe housekeeping, safety, etc. but the COVID has impacted. We will definitely go along, and the new dimension will give a different way of looking for all our participants, and we definitely would be looking at the community, the environment, society, with respect to our each individual behavior, and definitely it would help us. Thank you, Dr. Dalal. And we are running slightly short in time, and our next speaker would be uh, Mr. Sujit Basu. Mr. Sujit Basu is a well-known expert in the field of occupational health and safety. He did his PSCs from Presidency College, and did his BTech from Calcutta University. He is presently working as an advisor, health, safety, and environment with MCPI Private Limited. During his 20 years tenure, MCPI possessed various state and national level awards like Environment Excellence Award, SHE Award, National Safety Award, etc. He received national level IPCL award in 2004 from Indian Institute of Chemical Engineers. He is a member also of the ICC Occupational Health and Safety Expert Panel. I leave the floor to Mr. Basu to kindly carry on.
Thank you, Mr. Mukherjee. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, you can continue, Mr. Basu.
Okay. So Shoma, please show the presentation. Respected chairman and all the co-speakers and all the participants of this excellent webinar on occupational health and safety.
Mr. Basu, can you please?
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, but there is some noise coming. So can you please put your mic slightly away from your mouth? Then you can continue.
Okay. The time is short, definitely. So I would like to make my presentation in a good way. So next page. Before starting my presentation, I'd just like to explain our company. This is MCPI Private Limited. This is earlier a subsidiary company of Mitsubishi Chemical Corporation, Japan. And finally, 2016, the ownership was changed to MCC to the Chatterjee Group, TCG. You can see the total plot plan of our land, that is a 320-acre land, and total manpower is around more than 1,300, and our turnover is around 8,000 crore. So our main raw material is a paraxylene, is a petroleum B class B product, and finished product is terephthalic acid, purified terephthalic acid, which is being used for the garment and polyester fiber industries. Next page, please. Starting this presentation, basically, this is our policy. So our total safety management system, occupational safety management system, is built up with the plan to change act principle. So I'm starting from the policy where the objectives are accident free, providing the health of all concerned, protecting the health of all concerned, and zero adversity. With this objective, our top management commitment basically and believe is safety is nine function. And finally, some stress on like safety awareness, because safety awareness and safety communication is one of the pillar for better safety management. Then improvement of occupational health of all employees. The third one is one of the important points, involvement of all employees. As we know that ISO 45,000 new standard where the participation and consultation with the working people, workers, that is very much emphasized. And the last one is strengthening of process safety I would like to explain two matters. There is the construction safety management, contractor safety management, sorry, which is one of the important point to take care about the contractor safety and reduction of risk because as a petrochemical industry, a lot of risks are there in operations. So I would like to stress upon this point in the next presentation. Next. So starting from the safety awareness, as you see, the communication training is important. The first part is the communication. We have a top level communication up to the zonal safety meeting, safety ambassador meeting with the contract workers, where continuously safety communication is being done. Not only one way, it is a two way. We are getting a lot of information, lot of inputs from the workers. And then the training part also is one of the important in order to build up the uh, awareness and development of awareness, starting from the audio-visual induction training to local language. Basically, in Bengali, the induction training we're giving to all the workers, and then basic training and the advanced training. We are giving behavioral-based training to the contract workers and other training like emergency task force training. Basically, in case of any emergency, in case of any fire or anything else, all employees, the trained employees, they will support to the fire and emergency services persons, and external trainings like VBS, forklift, operations supporting. So we are very much believe that awareness is built up with the communication and the training. Next page, please. Next page. This is another very strong point of NCPI that the visual management throughout the factory in relevant spaces, starting from the gate, it is the first at the main gate we put it, and in everywhere
Sir,
the visual
interference, sir. Kindly just adjust your sir headphones, sir. It's getting noise something, sir. Again, sir. Just adjust, sir.
is it okay?
No, sir. Yeah, just yeah, adjust once. No, sir. It's coming huge noise, sir. Just you just keep that. Yeah, yeah, sir. Okay, sir. Yeah, okay.
So
Okay, sir. Please continue, sir.
the visual management is one of the strong point, and we believe in everywhere in the relevant places the various posters and are there, and always we are talking during the safety training, showing this so that people's mind set up when they're entering inside the factory. As you know, the socio-economic condition of our, especially the contractor workers, are very very poor. So they are coming by public transport and all, but when they are entering the factory, we need to change their mindset by continuous training and showing this. Next page, please. Then occupational health performance, we have a full-fledged occupational health center having three doctors. One is a permanent and continuous, and two is the contract basis, and the full-fledged male nurses are there. 24-hour service is there. Basically, we have various checkup program, employment periodical, and various risk assessment also, giving some training in first aid, PR, and medical camps as a part of the CSR activity. From that, the various Kolkata big hospitals, they're inviting them for giving some kind of training on the lifestyle changes and the basic problem on the obesity, lung problem like this. And it is really a good response we have received from the employees. We have totally done the cardiovascular risk assessment. Based on that, the high risk people are counseling also. And apart from that, some kind of occupational health management. Sorry, maybe it's from the office. Then ergonomic assessment we have done with respect to ergo chair and training on the sitting posture. Noise level survey, heat stress assessment. So these are the things we have done, and we got a lot of output out of this. Next page, please. You can see the various equipment we are having in our medical center. Apart from that side, we are giving special stress on the lifestyle management by putting the uh, I mean gym as well as the yoga on regular basis. Initially, there are little bit resistance, but after that, people have understood that importance of yoga and the using gym, and we got a huge response. Apart from that, if you see the last right side below, the 4 minute office exercise, we're working in the office every day at 4. The 4 minute exercise being uh, by microphone, it is coming, and every computer having this screen. Everybody is doing this 4 minute exercise who are working at the office. Next page, please. With respect to the involvement of all employees, that is one of the key point. As you have seen the picture, having employees involvement in the safety promotional activity, and we are giving to the award to the contractual employees, contractor itself, the community program also we are doing, and participation of contract employees, especially in the journal safety talk, transport workers. We are conducting mass toolbox meeting in various shutdown maintenance, whether it is a temporary, whether it is a planned shutdown. A mass toolbox meeting is very compulsory, where do's and don'ts to be explained audio visually, and safety patrol also being done by the contract employee and the permanent employee as a team. Next page, please. Next page. Yeah. So this is the safety tools. Left side, you can see stop. There is a DuPont stop system. Hathiyar is a Japanese term. Try to find out the predictive or preventive potential hazard with respect to this. And we have a safety talk, safety meeting at the workplace. Apart from the departmental meeting, the various shutdown maintenance were observing daily basis the during safety patrol, and that is documented. The safety ambassador meeting weekly by plant head himself with contract workers. We are listening their views on safety, and lot of outcome we have received from this. And you see the result, unsafe act and condition to 70,000, no 18,000. This is the pyramid where this is the leading indicators, and we are getting the result. We are monitoring continuously by participation of all employees. Next page. Next page, please. Yeah, this is one of the very strong, management tool of MCPI. That is the 5S, Japanese 5S system. I'm just giving examples starting from the office, the store, workshop, the scrapyard, the equipment, in the laboratory, everywhere. This discipline, it is a real challenge, and we have taken a long time. It's not an easy thing. The culture development of this 5S, starting from the top management to the contract workers, and it is being practiced regularly as a habit. So 5S activity is strongly done, then automatically unsafe condition will be reduced at a greater level. Next page. This is a example of 5S mass 5S activity. This is one of the Japanese culture we have adopted. Every month, 1 or 2 times, the all employees, including contract employees, are going to the plant, and location was fixed, and then cleaning activities done to build up the culture as a team. Next page, please. Next page. So this is the contractor safety management system. We have a planning and then execution. Starting from the safety guideline, comprehensive guideline, we have the contractors. It will be communicated through contractor meeting, then communication, the contractors team, coordination team, along with the permanent employee, their equipment and tools are checking, and then we are doing the safety patrol and all the observation. The left side graph, you can see the various unsafe conditions and unsafe act we are noting down every day, and based on the each and every contractor, maybe 30 or 40 contractors, based on each contractor, how many observations are there, and daily basis this will be monitored and rectified. And the right side bottom picture, you can see the graph that per head observation, it is being slowly reduced. This is the outcome. Next page, please. And these are the outcome of the contractor's risk management, that but the movement of equipment has to be properly tied up. Scaffolding, daily scaffolding check certification by the certifier, trained certifier, introduction of the welding helmet, the cap at the side of the pipe scaffolding. These are very small things, but discipline and implementation is a big challenge. If you do it, the contractors are really believing that safety is not only speaking by the person, it is being implemented. You can see this. The cylinders, the contract workers and permanent employees, they're checking the equipment and rejection also. Next page, please. Next page, please. Next page. Huh. This is another part, just to tell you the reduction of risk as a part of process safety. By various tool, left side there are jobs hazard analysis, Ikanwichi, quality circle. We have a very strong quality circle culture. We're going up to international level, and the worker group, they are really doing this quality circle, and they're identifying the risk, and they're reducing and proposing. And by that way, the infrastructural changes, modification, development, the right side is the output. That is the stack. You can see the 70-meter stack with maintaining the scaffolding without any injury. There are some emergency escape prepared. Based on the discussion risk assessment, these are the picture like involvement of forklift, new generation Hydra. This is the pneumatic man lifter to reduce the work at height risk, acoustic insulation. So these are the outcome of the risk assessment and reduction of the risk. Next page, please. So just to shortly told about the fire prevention part, we have a very strong system of storage tank inspection. Petroleum rule, there is very small things there, but we are following the OSD guideline. And every 10 years, the big storage tanks are being inspected thoroughly, taking approval from PESO, and a lot of improvements we have found with this. So tank inspection is giving us very much confidence to eliminate the major disaster from the chemical storage. Next page, please. Next page. This is the fire protection system. We have a 3 fire tender having fire team. They are trained from the sometimes for Indian fire services outside Kolkata, in the Kolkata, and various facilities are there, infrastructures are there. We are conducting mock drill. Next page, please. Next page. You can see the picture of the emergency drill starting from the assembly point. The persons are normal persons are coming to take in the assembly point. Roll call is going on to match the number of employees at any point of time with the assembly points and the total manpower. The drill and the left side, the bottom plot plan having all the emergency items like starting from the control room, the siren, exit path, and all these things. And you see the rescue drill, one of the drill, 30-meter height, a person's rescuing from the 30-meter height, and the actual fire. Next page, please. Just a little bit about the COVID, I would like to finish. We have a full-fledged COVID task force COVID management, starting from the guideline, having a task force at the top level corporate planning, the special budget for 1.5 crores, and continuous campaigning, providing the infrastructure, hand washing, medical test, checkup, safe declaration, then emergency control with our colony, and isolation of all employee in case of any symptoms or coming. So we have a facility of isolation in our colony as well as worker colony also, and from the remote home also, the medical center is continuously monitoring their health condition on daily basis. Next page, please. Next page. These are the examples: social distancing, sanitization daily basis, the trucks and the periodically the workplaces, automatic hand without touch sanitization, canteen social distancing, and finally the compliance with respect to the disposal of as biomedical waste. So as Dr. Wamaki Chan has told many things, so it's a really delightful presentation. we are also doing like thing, and we have learned some of the items. And one thing, just to finish, before finish, we have instructed and implemented not to speak during taking food inside the canteen, because without mask speaking inside the canteen, there is every possibility of contamination chances there. So that way we have instructed, we have put some posters. This is a new thing, and we really got a good outcome from this. So before finishing my presentation, I would like to thanks to ICC, the speakers, for a patient learning, and advance happy Puja, Diwali, Navaratri, and COVID-free time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Basu. A very elaborated depiction of the best practices in an industry. I think my friends from different industries will reap the benefit. And for any queries, I think Mr. Basu will be delighted to respond to your queries in future days. And for any queries, any help, any guidance, you can contact ICC. Thank you, Mr. Basu, once again.
Thank
Our
you, sir. Thank you.
next speaker will be Mr. Sudhir P.V. Nambiar. He has 30 years experience in the field of process, R&D and quality, health and safety, environment. He has held senior leadership position across the spectrum of industries, including oil and gas, construction, EPC, consultancy, and chemical manufacturing processes in India and overseas. He has worked for organizations like ADNOC, Abu Dhabi, Gulf Air Engineering, Contracting, SAOG, Oman, and many other companies. He is a visionary leader, proficient in leading large multinational cross-cultural workforces. He has received National Award for Leadership and also the Best Young Manager Award from the State Level Management Association of India. We welcome Mr. Nambiar, and I hand over the session to Mr. Nambiar.
Yes.
Please.
Yes. Yes.
Only request is that we're running short of time. Can you please reduce your presentation within 10 minutes, please?
Yeah. Sure. This you're able to. It's audible.
Yes, sir. Continue. Yes, sir. Continue.
You're able to see me also. Camera is also on.
Yes, you can continue, please.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, ICC, for this invitation, and respected Dr. Sudipta Mukherjee and distinguished panelists and delegates. A warm greetings from LTHE, L&T Hydrocarbon Engineering. The topic here is innovations in addressing COVID-19. Actually, the necessity is the mother of invention, as we know. And in many ways, this COVID-19 has been a positive engine for innovation and change, as entire industries forced to reevaluate what they have in place and how they could do better. The innovations I am going to highlight in the presentation include those that are implemented in progress and that could be explored. So going to the next slide. This is about an overview of our organization. L&T Hydrocarbon Engineering is a wholly owned subsidiary of Larsen & Toubro. We cater to EPC projects across the broad spectrum of oil and gas industry, as in onshore, offshore, fabrication facilities, construction, and have dedicated engineering. Undoubtedly, the COVID-19 has posed a challenge across all fields, but L&T has always been in the forefront for such challenges and resilience and innovations. One of answer beyond call of duty, introducing robot nurses in government hospital of Vadodara, Surat, and Rajkot, Gujarat, under LTHE CSR. Let me take you through a small video bite of BBC News. Yeah, let me start this video.
વડોદરાની સયાજીરાવ ગાયકવાડ હોસ્પિટલમાં આ રોબોટ કોરોના વોર્ડમાં કાર્યરત છે. કોરોના વાયરસને ધ્યાને રાખીને ખાસ રીતે આ રોબોટનું નિર્માણ કરવામાં આવ્યું છે. અહીં 3 પ્રકારના રોબોટ વસાવવામાં આવ્યા છે જેની કામગીરી ખૂબ જ સરાહનીય છે. એક નર્સને હોસ્પિટલમાં જે પણ કાર્ય કરવાનું હોય તે આ રોબોટ કરી શકે છે.
उसके लिए 3 टाइप्स ऑफ रोबोट्स है. एक सोना 2.5 है, अब सोना 1.5 है और एडी स्क्रीनिंग रोबोट्स है. ये बहुत बढ़िया है. ये वन ऑफ द बेस्ट है. यू कैन से इट्स अ वर्ल्ड क्लास रोबोट है. वो क्या करता है, वो पेशेंट्स के लिए फूड, दवा, ये सब वो वार्ड में देता है. कोई कोई somebody comes no into intervene, वो स्टॉप करता है और उसको सबको दवाएं ये सब देता है. और उसके अलावा वो स्क्रीनिंग भी करता है, उसको अटेंडेंस मार्किंग करता है. कोई मास्क नहीं पहनता तो अलर्ट करता है मास्क पहनने के लिए. तो कोई नर्स क्या क्या करना पड़ता है ये सब ये कर रहा है.
એલએનટી કંપની દ્વારા ગુજરાત સરકારના સહયોગથી ખાસ આ રોબોટનું નિર્માણ કરવામાં આવ્યું છે. કોરોના વોર્ડની અંદર કામ કરતા ડોક્ટર્સ અને નર્સને સંક્રમણનો વધુ ખતરો હોય છે, પરંતુ હવે આ રોબોટની મદદથી હોસ્પિટલના કર્મચારીઓને કોરોના વોર્ડમાં કાર્ય કરવાનું પહેલા કરતા ખૂબ જ સરળ બન્યું છે.
ये तो एलएनटी हाइड्रोकार्बन के सीएसआर की तरफ से डोनेट किया है इसके लिए एसएससी हॉस्पिटल में इन कोऑर्डिनेशन विद जीसीएसआर एंड गवर्नमेंट ऑफ गुजरात. हमने सोचा बहुत इंटरवेंशन एलएनटी ने किया है इनिशिएटिव में पूरा कोविड के लिए.
કંપની દ્વારા બનાવાયેલો એક રોબોટ દર્દીનું સ્ક્રીનિંગ અને તાપમાનનું માપ કરે છે અને ત્યારબાદ હોસ્પિટલમાં પ્રવેશ આપે છે. આ સાથે જ હોસ્પિટલમાં આવતા દર્દીએ જો માસ્ક નથી પહેર્યું તો તેમને પણ માસ્ક પહેરવાનું આ રોબોટ સૂચના આપે છે.
बीपी का बहुत शॉर्टेज आता है. ये आएगा तो बीपी का शॉर्टेज का प्रॉब्लम बहुत कम होता है, क्योंकि ये रोबोट होने के वजह से ये सब देखता है. नर्स का पूरा काम ऐसे क्या क्या है इम्पोर्टेंट काम सो कर रहा है. 24/7 कर रहे हैं ये. और उसका 2 आवर्स का चार्जिंग होता है, लेकिन तीन रोबोट्स है. 2.5 का है, 1.5 का है और एक एली का है. एली ने क्या करेगा, वो इनिशियल स्क्रीनिंग वगैरह करेगा. एक पेशेंट आएगा तो वो नहीं तो कोई आएगा तो पूरा स्क्रीन करके उसका टेम्परेचर देखेगा, उसका मास्क पहनना है नहीं पहनना, उसके एंट्री रेस्ट्रिक्टेड या नहीं, पूरा एक आदमी का काम वो करेगा. आत्मनिर्भर भारत, इसमें मेड इन इंडिया है एकदम, और मेक इन इंडिया है. ये प्रोडक्ट मेक इन इंडिया, ये सब हमारे लिए प्रायोरिटी था.
Yeah. So it was an intervention what we have done from the robot perspective, and yes, actually this particular robot is of a slam. Introduced Bharat and go for vocal, go walk. Only our major challenge was stay connected with our employees and workmen across the globe, keep them informed about the abreast of dynamics of the situation, look into the behavior aspect of the compliance and keep them motivated. In the coming slides, we will look into these challenges vis-a-vis solution what we have brought in. During the lockdown, there were multi-communications in the form of SOPs and guidelines, etc. Post-lockdown, specific requirements were focused on regarding COVID-19 compliance and induction of employees. All these requirements were moved into online system. E-learning modules on COVID were developed to cater the induction as well as the raising the awareness among employees when they joined back. So now if you see, this is a dashboard, this is a real-time dashboard what has been developed to keep close tab on the situations and make informed decisions. This dashboard really helps. And it is developed in vertical levels, and this would also not only give country and the project-wise active and recovered cases, it would also track the primary and secondary contacts. So that is very useful from a management perspective in terms of managing the COVID pandemic. So in order to ensure the least impact on HSE aspect in the business post unlock, a team has joined, as some of our speakers were mentioning about it, has done a detailed exercise to do a cost effect analysis of COVID-19, BOTI analysis. Basically, it's a risk assessment in terms of a risk assessment matrix. So this has been carried out so that the controlled measures has been very well planned and it has been put in place. So at an organization level, using separate devices for permit scanning, attendance registration, and announcement is coming as additional cost. This is where the game changer artificial intelligence has come handy for us. We have already installed contactless temperature screening device and mask detection at the entrance of each building and exploring to get Ellie, the robot which I have been mentioning earlier, that to integrate the approach like announcement, updates, and attendance, and taking the best benefit of the robotic intervention. Another interesting in-house AI solution for challenging to face the challenge on maintaining social distancing, avoid overcrowding at attendance marking machine is bringing the system at desktop. We had online daily self-declaration to be submitted, integrated attendance. It's an intranet system, so where employees have to log in into the system. The logs will flow into attendance to a portal automatically. So such including attendance marking as well as self-declaration, everything has been digitalized. The challenge of ensuring compliance to social distancing and wearing masks has been addressed through, again, with the support of ML and the AI. Although it's a behavioral aspect of human beings, but to ensure we have integrated an in-house AI-based system along with surveillance camera, which has a logic to check mask or sense more than 5 people in the close vicinity is overcrowding. You can find it in the photographs of what is shown in the slide. And this automatically goes, the photos automatically goes to the individual and the team is managing it, and it goes to his immediate boss also. It gives an opportunity for counseling the people, in terms of non-compliances, if at all we come across. Post-unlock, traveling, and this was another challenge was the post-unlock traveling and in-person presence was a limitation at site. This has been addressed purely through digital interventions. To ensure business continuity, we have initiated virtual audits, progress review, and certain execution works also we have conducted based on the intervention of digital platform through softwares and cameras. We have reduced contacts with the ePTW system by implementing ePTW system. Whole PTW we could to some extent digitalize. We have developed an in-house chat bot which clarifies COVID queries for emphasis for any queries of any employees by 24/7. These are some of the innovations, some food for thought which we have not implemented, which anyone could consider across what is happening. These are which can be always considered. It's of a kind of you must be finding it a certain kind of mask which is connected to the Bluetooth touchless lift delivery system can help drastically bringing down the transmission of diseases. Disinfecting robots will come handy with big warehouses, stores, and the manufacturing units. Innovations like quarantine tech, which is a product which can be useful for predictive tool by monitoring the parameters like blood, oxygen, and temperature, and the data can be linked to the cloud, and medical professional can get us overall scan the trend of how the people, the vital conditions of the people. Accordingly, it becomes very handy to manage such situations when COVID pandemic is across the area or in the offices. These are the few practices, best practices across the project sites and offices. An answer of behavioral compliance. We have set up team of social distancing and PPE champions in our and we have trained them, and they are the people who will intervene. They are the people who will take care of the employees in terms of counseling, in terms of the current situation. So they will be the champion. They will take care of the compliance across the organization. And the mentor type employees who are not complying, suppose they raise awareness and they organize small micro meetings so that people are well engaged in terms of COVID-19. That is, these are some of the interventions what we have done. And most important aspect of any organization is their employees. In order to engage them, looking at their mental health, we have organized multiple webinar sessions with leading doctors and motivational speakers. Our senior leadership team have opened a frank discussion, a fireside chat, or including CEO reviews the current situation. He engages, our senior leadership engages with the employees so that the such intervention always shows reflects the top management commitment at this pandemic situation, and always sessions on sharing experiences from employees who have recovered from COVID becomes useful for other employees is lateral learning and what need to be taken care of, the trauma that they had to undergo, the social stigma they had to undergo. All this have make sensitize the people, the employees across and the mask together challenge learning this thing, inculcating safe behavior-based safety. We always talk. This is also important from this context. So make them wear or encourage them to proper use of the mask. That is another one. Namaste, let us break the chain is another campaign which we are continuing from the starting of the 10 months. We have been continuing this. That goes across, and it again engages employees in terms of rights and the wrongs, and getting connected with the people. All this so that the more of a behavioral change we could make. So all this have been focused in terms of sensitizing people in terms of COVID-19. So these are some of the new normal practices. What you could see in terms of touch the heart session. Again, the leaders always discuss with the people during the employees during the pandemic situation, the social distancing at the entrance era. Then of course thermal scanning or the digital monitoring of the temperature of the employees. You will find and you can find display of COVID awareness through LED boards at yards, and inspections we have always digitalized. So through a digital intervention we could make it, or all inspections have been conducted that way. And of course, all the toolbox sessions are covered by COVID precautions at workplace, disinfecting the incoming material to the project sites. This has been done. And to boost employee workmen morale, keep them, as I was mentioning about the webinar sessions and other thing, mask together challenges, all this. Yeah, this we have done. And more of employee engagement session that was focused. So this is all. I hope I have complied with the restricted within the time of what you have stipulated. Thank you very much. Any specific questions, I'm happy to answer, or if not, over to the moderator, please. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Nambiar, and very well elaborated presentations looking into the innovations and digital intervention in managing COVID. And I feel that the participants will have a greater insight into it. And for any questions related to this, I will request the participants to put forward your questions in the chat box, or even to ICC. We will communicate it to Mr. Nambiar and we will get it the response. So thank you, Mr. Nambiar, once again. I will now request Mr. Biman Banerjee, Senior Manager, Branded Sales of Malcolm India Limited, to please come forward and give your thoughts. And please restrict your presentation within 10 minutes sharp. Mr. Banerjee, please continue and unmute your system. Mr. Birman Banerjee, can you?
Yes, good afternoon. Yes, I'm just sharing my session.
Okay.
Am I audible? Am I audible?
You're audible. You're audible.
Okay,
you can continue.
just give me 2 minutes of time. My session is being loaded. Hello.
Yes.
Just a minute. Yeah. So my session primarily is focused on hand protection, because hand and finger injuries in the workplace, the prevention is the first motto, because these hand is one of the most vulnerable part of the body. Not that the other parts are not important, but hand is one of the most vulnerable part of the body, which needs utmost care as far as protection is concerned. As you can see, that because hand is not only important to avoid, because not only a hand critical in everyday life and work tasks, they're hard to fix and heal, because they are neuromuscularly complex, involving a large small integral parts. An article in OSH in August 2018 states that in a US Department Labor of Study, that all injuries, out of all the injuries reported, about 23% are related to hand injuries, making them the highest in preventable injuries. In terms of lost work days, they rank second only to back and neck injuries. So that is the importance of prevention of hand injuries. Now, there are different types of gloves which can be used in the prevention of hand injuries. One is categorized into leather gloves, broadly categorized into leather gloves, textile gloves, and synthetic gloves. Leather gloves also have different subcategories like work gloves, driver gloves, winter gloves, and welder gloves. Textile also has got natural textile like cotton gloves, woolen gloves, and synthetic yarn. Also, we have got nylon, polyester, and aramid. Then you have seamless knitted gloves and also cut and sew knitted gloves. Seamless knitted means there is no joint in the gloves. It's totally one single piece of gloves which is being knitted, and it has got a synthetic coating. And cut and sew notice, because it is cut and then it is sewed. And there's, of course, the synthetic gloves includes latex, polyvinyl acetate, ultra high molecular weight polyethylene, neoprene, PVC, butyl, and so forth, polyethylene, etc. Then you have, this is the examples of some of the knitted gloves. You can see the cut and sewn gloves on my right side. You have the seamless nitrile gloves also on the left hand side below corner. So these are different types of gloves which are available today, which can be used under different hazard conditions or prevented of different applications. You also have the synthetic gloves on my left hand side. You can see on my screen that these are the PU gloves, polyurethane gloves used in multiple applications. You have the cut resistant gloves. Ultra high molecular weight polyethylene gloves are basically the cut resistant gloves, cut level 5 gloves. You can say you have the latex gloves which are coated with latex on cotton. This gives a certain amount of cut resistance of cut level 2. And also this is also one of the example of PU gloves, polyurethane gloves. Now, unfortunately, in India, except IS 16994, that is on leather hand gloves, there are not much defined standards which can drive the selection of gloves. So normally, all the EHS professionals in India also accept the EN standard as the standard which is as a benchmark for gloves. So these are the most common standards which are used in day-to-day industrial environment. EN 420 speaks about how the glove should be manufactured. EN 388 speaks about the mechanical properties of the glove. EN 407 is a standard related to the heat-resistant properties of a gloves. EN 374 specifically talks about the chemical resistant properties of a gloves, and EN 511 talks about the standards followed in cryogenic gloves, which is particularly the gloves which are used for handling cold temperatures. I'm not going into the details because of paucity of time. This is the standard of EN 420, which speaks about how the glove should be manufactured, what would be the minimum palm weight, palm length, etc. Everything is defined and documented. If you as a manufacturer, you are following the EN 420, then you have to manufacture gloves as per the sizes and the dimensions given. EN 388 2016 previously, because see, basically there was a standard which was called the Coop test, which was followed before this 2016 standard was revised. Then in the year 2016 there was a standard which was implemented called TDM 100 or EN ISO 13997 standard, where a different level of testing was implemented, and a different level of gradation was done for the cut resistance properties of the gloves. That was a major change which was brought about in this EN 388 or the mechanical properties of the standard in the year 2016, and it is being now followed by all standard manufacturers who are actually exporting or also in the Indian markets. As you see, this is the performance levels of EN 388 standard: cut level 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. These are highest levels of cut resistance property of a glove is cut level 5. So this is the new marking on my right side. You can see you have the abrasion test, the cut test or the Coop test on the second one. Then you have the tear resistance test, you have the puncture test, and these two additional tests had been implemented. One is the cut resistance test by the TDM 100 method or the ISO 13997 method, and the impact protection test, which it is not mandatory. If you are claiming your gloves is giving impact protection, then only the manufacturer goes for the test for this impact protection. So EN 374, basically this is the this EN 407. These are the criteria which are tested: resistance to flammability, contact heat resistance, convective heat resistance, radiant heat resistance, resistance to small splashes of molten metal, and resistance to large splashes of molten metal. There are specific test parameters which are followed while conducting these tests. This can be dealt in details, but due to paucity of time, we are not going to the details this today. The EN 374 standard has also gone a revision in the year 2016, because to ensure consistency between test results and to better assist users in their glove choice more accurately, reflecting the chemicals being used throughout the industry. Initially, before 2016, what was happening, that there were 12 standard chemicals which were under this list. But in the year 2016, what they did, they added 6 more chemicals. You can see here. These are the 12 standard chemicals which were actually followed. But after this, they've added 6 more chemicals to this list, so that now the list has become an 18 standard list of chemicals. These are the list of chemicals which have come. Each one of them have got a CS number. CS number is basically nothing, but it is basically the Chemical Abstract Service Registry number. It's basically a unique number that is assigned to a particular chemical. Each chemical which is identified, or you can say it's like the Aadhaar number for a chemical is concerned. So what this EN 374 standard did, they were added because they are more representative of chemicals in the modern industrial environment. And there are basically 3 types of gradings which have been done: type A, type B, and type C markings. Yes, type A, type B, type C markings basically are: type A marking represents that there will be at least minimum performance level of 2 and a minimum breakthrough time of 30 minutes for 6 listed chemicals out of the 18 chemicals. So that kind of gloves will be graded as type A gloves. You have type B gloves, which again the performance level has to be level 2, minimum breakthrough time of 30 minutes, but it has to withstand at least 3 chemicals from the list of standard 18 chemicals which was shown in the earlier slide. And type C level performance will be 1. Minimum withstand time is 10 minutes. And the number of chemicals which can withstand is only 1 as far as out of the list of 18 chemicals. So type A, type C, and type B and type C. These are the 3 gradations which were added on to in the EN 374 standards. You have typical driver gloves. Different parts of the gloves are explained here: the palm, the safety cuff, the rubberized this elastic back. This is just the illustration of a glove should be. You have the different types of what you call driver gloves, basically which are basically made of soft leather. You have the worker gloves or the mechanical gloves here, basically worker gloves. You can see used in mostly in the construction industry. You have the welder gloves here. Different types of welding gloves are available in the market today by the manufacturers. Different types, different temperature ranges are also available. We have the winter gloves, but not very specific for Indian context. But this is widely used in the European countries during the winter season. This is made of very high quality leather and with woolen lining and different sort of lining to keep the hands warm. You have the synthetic or the PU gloves, which I had illustrated earlier. These are primarily a 13 gauge seamless knitted gloves, which has got a polyester PU coating on the palm side. You have the excellent durability and dexterity is there. It has got excellent abrasion resistance and close tight fit, enabling ease of operation. So the sensitivity is very good as far as compared to the cotton gloves. You have these seamless nitrile coated gloves. These are either made of 13 gauge or 15 gauge. It can have different sort of coating. Coatings can be of smooth finish. It can have a foamy finish. It can have a sandy finish. Different types of grips can be achieved by using this kind of finishes. And you also have the cut resistance properties enabled into these gloves also. And lastly, these are the cryogenic gloves which are available in the market. Cryogenics, as I already told you, is a standard which is followed is EN 511. And depending on the application, you also have cryogenic apron as well as cryogenic gloves of different arm sizes. So, gentlemen, as you can see that hands are a precious asset to guide our next generation. So it is our prime responsibility to guard them against all odds. Thank you and stay safe and wish you a very happy Navratri and a puja and stay safe during these COVID times. And thank you, ICC, for giving us, Malcolm, this opportunity to share our thoughts with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Banerjee, for giving us a very elaborate picture of hand protections, various kinds of gloves and their specification, their protection level. I feel that the industry members can get the inputs for necessary procurement plan, etc. The next speaker will be the last speaker, Dr. Rina Valecha. Dr. Rina Valecha is an occupational therapist and ergonomic specialist by profession with a strong background of clinical expertise in orthopedic domain. She has interacted and worked closely with various private and government organizations to identify the challenges faced by the users in the modern workplace and find solutions for the same with the product designs, architects, and decision making. Presently associated with Workspace and Ergonomics Research Cell of Godrej Interior as Principal Ergonomic Consultant. She represents furniture industry in the BIS Ergonomics Committee, Government of India. She is a faculty with major esteemed forums like National Safety Council, Indian Association of Occupational Health, IAC, Indian Green Building Council, Association of Healthcare Providers in India, and CII MFU. So I leave it to Dr. Valecha to just carry on. I remember your 30-30.
Yes. Good to connect with you again. Good afternoon, everyone. Soma, can I request you to enable the screen share option? Thank you so much. Is my screen visible, sir?
You can continue. Everything is visible. You are audible. Fine,
Perfect.
fair
Thank
enough.
you so much. Thank you so much, IC, for inviting me for this and also where I get an opportunity to share some insights on ergonomics and work from home challenges and helping or maybe sharing few insights where organizations can take few insights in adapting to this work from home new normal. So before I move ahead, I would want everyone to take a second out and just close your eyes for a minute, because continuously you're viewing the screen, continuously you're hearing so many knowledgeable sessions. So just take a second and just close your eyes tight. Hold it for few seconds and then relax. Take a deep breath in, breathe out, and open your eyes. Rotate your eyes, relax your eye muscles, because from an ergonomics point of view, it is equally important that you walk the talk. Move your shoulder up, relax your shoulders, move your neck up, continuously viewing the screen, hearing a lot of information, brings in a lot of fatigue in your upper back muscles. So first you do that. And breathing in, breathing out, let's hear what is in for the session. So yeah, we are being, now in the 6 months of working from home. This pandemic has taught us many things, to adopting new ways of working, to adopt to the new ways of interacting with our teams, connecting with people. There are a lot of new things we have been learning and adapting to this new normal. So with this 6-7 months of working from home, there are a lot of different things which have been happening. But from an office and workplace point of view, it is new to many people. For some organizations, there were policies for where they encouraged their employees to work from home. But in many organizations, it is being experienced for the very first time. No doubt, initially, all of us, we felt, comfortable where our commute time was saved. We have time for our personal responsibilities. We can work at our own ease. So that work from home benefits were being highlighted in a very major way, where we were happy initially. No doubt, some benefits are still there, and where we are able to focus more at work, we are more productive because the time which was gone in traveling, other activities is saved, and we are putting that lot of hours to our work. I'm sure many of us will agree to me that as compared to office, work from home, we are working for longer hours, and one of the reason why many of us are productive is because of that. But at the same time, if we understand, everything has its pros and cons. No doubt, along with benefits of working from home, there are a lot of challenges which we all are facing, because home environment is an uncontrolled environment from a working parameter point of view. Like for example, distractions are a major part of work from home scenario, where your home members are also there, your family is there, your household duty. Nowadays, there are a lot of, because of rains, the network problem is there, unstable internet. So, lot of things are the major part which creates distractions at work from home scenario, where majorly we can't have control on these areas. And at the same time, along with distractions, mental health is of major concern. Long working hours, no more to connect face to face with people, more fear of the pandemic. There are a lot of reasons which is affecting mental health of employees. But from an ergonomics point of view, it is also, we see that human connect, human interaction is the major thing which is affecting work employees working in office spaces. They miss the formal work environment, that face to face meetings, and that that casual conversations also, which used to give a mental break, which help to enhance their overall well-being and work while working. Along with this, if we understand, many users are forced, employees are presently forced to work from home because the need of an hour is safety and to stop community transmission. So, considering that the safety, many of us are being forced to work. Many 80, almost majority of them, they don't prefer working from one place. They need flexibility between work from home as well in office. Considering the way things are working, it has been observed that though people need that flexibility, but they are being forced to work from home. But while working from home, along with distractions, mental health, there are other ergonomic challenges which are being expressed. Like majority of the workforce do not have a formal work setup while working from home. They tend to sit and work in an informal work environment, like sometimes floor, sofa, beanbag, or bed. So working in informal work environment or informal work setup, people tend to be more comfortable. Now, it is not a problem to be sit and work in a comfortable posture. The problem becomes when this comfortable posture is maintained for a longer duration of time. Now, in that 8 hours or 10 hours of your work time from home, even if you sit at a stretch for say 1.5 hours to maximum 2 hours, in this comfortable postures, which are usually awkward, unergonomic in nature, there the problem sets in. There it results in more pain complaints related to your lower back, your neck pain, and your shoulder related problems, and visual stress as well, because continuously we are viewing the screen and digital gadgets for our work. So the complaints related to work related musculoskeletal disorders is being observed to be on rise. Many of them are having complaints related to discomfort, where problems related to spine followed by visual stress is on a higher side, and it is directly correlated to the way our lifestyle is. Long working hours, no physical activity, less of exercises, how our behavior is, how our lifestyle is. So even that plays a biggest factor in understanding how we can mitigate these challenges and make the lifestyle or the comfort of employees who are working remotely more comfortable and safe. Now this work from home is I know it's all of a sudden, so many of us are experiencing though it for the first time, but the challenges remains the same. Now the ergonomic challenges when a user was sitting and working in an office space was present, like for example how the person is sitting and working in an office environment, how the ergonomics is arranged for that person, which is making him sit and work in an good and neutral posture, the way his behavior is, how often the person is taking breaks. So all that also resulted in problems when they were working in office space. The similar problems were present when they were working in field, like for example sales employees or people who are working on field. They also have some amount of occupational health disorders, which results in terms of working in different workspaces, standing for long hours, traveling being a risk factor. So every occupation, every work environment, as we all are aware, has associated risk factors, which results in occupational injuries. To address this occupational injuries and to create a resilient workforce in this new normal of work from home, and try creating that awareness that okay, that now employees also need to be aware that how they need to themselves while working from home. So the first step, which or the approach from an ergonomics point of view, which organizations and many of us should believe taking, is in bombard with education, educate and train them with the right knowledge on things they need to do and how they can take care of themselves remotely by taking care of their postures, what are the way they can sit and work in different work environment. If they don't have a proper ergonomic work desk arrangement, what are the simple techniques which they can implement in their existing workspace and create an ergonomic workspace for themselves and work, so that their posture is not a problem. Create a right education or impart a right education where users are aware, okay, why this posture is a problem, why this behavior is a problem, and what are that simple tips and techniques which I can implement to improve my overall health and well-being. So new strategies. So this is where the role of health and safety professionals, the occupational health and HSE domain people comes in, where their role, their focus should be then how they can impart this knowledge across the organizations to all their remote employees to create a safe working environment. So training and education on right ergonomics is the need of an hour. Focus on creating ergonomic workspace at home. Considering the situation, the COVID situation, we think the work from home will remain for quite some time, even though some portion of us will continue going to workplace, or maybe we will travel, but at the end, work from home will remain for some part of time, or it will be a part of our routine. So it's very important that we focus on creating ergonomic workspace for ourselves. And maybe if we don't have that kind of arrangement, maybe wherever you are sitting and working, create that space ergonomic for yourself. Another important thing which we need to emphasize here is, as many of us, because of digital connect, we are mostly connected to smart gadgets, which is your smartphone, iPad, laptop. So interaction with smaller screen gadgets make you more prone to upper back related injuries, which is neck pain, shoulder, back pain, and eye pain related problems. So request if you all can accessorize your gadgets and work smartly on smart gadgets by adopting certain behaviors. And the third thing, before we end, is following a prevention techniques. So first you educate and train them. Second is do some corrections, and third is constant in education and engagement with your employees and end users on various areas of wellness for behavior modification, which acts as a reinforcement to them. All these things will definitely help maintain a agilent workforce and also maintain their wellness at work while working from home. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Valecha,
Thank you
for your tips on the maintaining ergonomics and wellness during work from home, and which is the call of the day. We have almost covered the technical sessions taken by our distinguished panelists. I will request Dr. Subhashish Shahu, Associate Professor, Ergonomics and Occupational Physiology Laboratory, Kolani University, to give the validatory session, summing up all the presentations, all the the thoughts that were shared during the course of this technical session, and then we will close this technical session. So welcome, Dr. Shahu. Now I hand it over to for the closing. I'm summing up and valediction.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
we
you.
can hear you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mukherjee, for introducing me. And this session, we have 5 speakers, apart from our lead speaker or chairman, Mr. Mukherjee. So main thing, I am not calling some of the things holistically, not. So first thing is that COVID-19 put a challenge to all. Now we have to change our behavior, and we have to think about the community. And definitely about Professor Dalal's talk, that community is important for the health and safety aspect, and safe community from the environmental and aspect is much important. And it has also about the media input. We are generally omit the main features about occupational safety and health aspect, maybe important aspect. Media is not covering it. And during COVID-19 also, there is one of the major issue is that mental problem. People are suffering from different anxiety, and there is some stigma, but that is also due to some time or media, improper media input is also responsible for that. And the lifestyle modification, and it should start from the home. And children are the greater risk for the work-life balance, and safe culture is very much important. And safety management or safe culture is also in MCPI also elaborated by next speaker. And innovations like some introduction of the robot in the COVID ward, and risk assessment and contactless temperature and use of IA system and digital intervention is also talked about. So these are the other high-end technique which we can use to uh, uh, counteract the pandemic or spread of the disease. And hand-to-hand finger injury is one important aspect, and explain the different type of, he also explained different type of standard of the gloves and different types and how we can work. And last speaker also gives some work from home. Actually, from regarding this, we have certain other observation also. And like we have some studies regarding what is the main problem from corporate sector, students, children, all are affected by this work from home or new normal life, or we have to adapt to the new normal life. And when we are thinking about the local intervention or vocal for the local, we have to think holistically with the local approach. Like sitting when we are designing the workstation, definitely there are two options. One, we can go for better workstation with costly, but it is not affordable by the many of us, because another factor it is coming that we have that unorganized workforce. More than 90% or more than 80% we have the unorganized workforce. And when we are dealing with the challenges of the COVID, it is not only restricted to the workplace. So maybe workplace we are make very safe, all systematic, everything, but their commute or when they are going back home or work from home, the home safety and proper space design is also important. And here, how means costly workstation, whether they are affordable or not, that is another issue. And many people, as you are aware of that, we are more accustomed or we are like to work in our Indian posture, not in the table and chair. So that is also have to be when we are thinking about that uh, new local intervention. Until unless we can eliminate it totally from the society. So making barrier in one place is not the solution. So we have to think holistically. And in that case, definitely for the local and industry institute partnership, input from the all corner is important. So with these few words, I want to sum up, because we are running late. And as the many speaker already told that too much screen exposure is also harmful. It will help, means it will also disturb our sleep, definitely. And musculoskeletal problem, other thing is that when we are continuously glued to the screen or continuously glued to the screen and long time screen exposure. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shao. Now I kept the award winners waiting for more than half an hour. We are late by half an hour. Now, thanking all the distinguished speakers, I give it back to Mrs. Mukherjee for the award ceremony.
Thank you, sir. Thank you to all the panelists. A wonderful session, very informative. So we can now move on to the most awaited part of the program, which is the award announcement ceremony. Of course, our winners, they know who are the winners. I mean, they themselves are winners and they have done excellent work. But who are the other winners that we have kept away from them? So that we will announce right now. Debu, can I have the screen sharing option, please?
Yeah, done. Yes, yeah.
Um, is the screen visible?
No, your screen is not actually blank, it is showing. So,
Or
what?
Shurjodip?
Yes, Shumadip. Surjo, you can do that.
That presentation,
Yes.
um, okay, just Debuda, can you give me the screen sharing option?
Sure.
Okay, is the screen visible?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So now, dear participants and panelists, we begin with the announcement of the second ICC National Occupational Health Safety Awards for year 2020, which was done virtually with the help of our jury members. And we had also instituted a ICC innovation contest for prevention strategy of COVID-19. We begin by thanking all our jury members, our honorable jury members, chaired by Dr. Krishna Nirmalo Sen, Professor Subhashi Shahu, Mr. Shakti Shankar Bandopadhyay of Tata Metallics, Mr. Niranjan Das of TRL Krosaki, and Mr. Indranil Chakraborty of Thyssen Group. Thank you very much for helping us through the entire process and sparing your valuable time for this. Next, please. Next slide. So this innovation contest, we will begin with it. We have 3 prizes for the first for the overall category, and there are prizes for the individual category winners as well as jury appreciation certificates. The jury appreciation certificates have gone to Afcons Infrastructure Limited, Mumbai Nagpur Expressway Project, Berger Paints Howrah, CESC Southern Generating Station, Voltas Limited, and Afcons Katra Dharam Bridge Project, Dhariwal Infrastructure Limited, and UAL Bengal. The next slide. Next slide. The winner in the category of Leadership Engagement and Prevention Strategy of COVID-19 is Haldia Energy Limited. Heartiest congratulations to Haldia Energy for winning this individual category prize. Next slide. In the area of new ideas implemented, the winner is ITC Munger. Team ITC Munger, heartiest congratulations for winning the individual category of new ideas implemented. The jury was extremely happy with the kind of innovations that have been carried out by your team in preventing COVID-19 in your workplace. In the category of enhancing health safety through digitalization, the winner is Grasim Chemical Limited. Congratulations to team of Grasim Chemical for digitalizing your workplace for prevention of COVID-19. AFCON's Kolkata Metro Rail project has been the winner in the category of managing worker gathering, meetings, etc. The team of AFCONs, congratulations to you for your brilliant work in organizing worker gatherings. We will now begin with the overall prizes. In the third position are Holdia Petrochemicals Limited and AFCON's Chenab Bridge project of Jammu and Kashmir. We have the team pictures of both Haldia and AFCON's Chenab Bridge project. Congratulations. Although we are not able to, since it's a virtual program, we are not able to give them physical applause, but I'm sure at your individual workplace, you are applauding yourselves. So congratulations to both the teams. In the second position is CESC Limited Bojboj Generating Station. Congratulations, CESC Bojboj Generating Station, for your excellent work and for impressing our jury members in prevention strategies for COVID-19 that you have adopted at your workplace. The winner of the contest is ITC Limited Saharanpur. Congratulations, Team ITC. Wonderful work done, and it has been a great pleasure to go through your presentation, and the jury was extremely happy with the kind of innovations that you have taken up, and it can stand as a best practice for most of the industry in the country. Congratulations once again. We will now be moving on to the awards of the National Occupational Health and Safety Awards. The certificates of appreciation, we will begin with it. It goes to Shapurji Palanji ITPO project, Upper Assam Petrocoke Private Limited, and Amritesh Industries Private Limited. Congratulations to all the three teams for jury was happy with your award, with your presentation, and that's how you have been awarded the certificates. The silver winners in the ICC National Occupational Health Safety and Safety Awards 2020 are Nuvoco Vista Corporation Limited, Chittor plant in cement and allied sector, UAL Bengal in manufacturing and engineering sector. Congratulations to Team UAL, Team Nuvoco. Moving on, Reliance Industries Limited in oil and gas sector. Congratulations, Reliance Industries. CESC Limited, Southern Generating Sector Station in Power Sector. Heartiest congratulations to you too. ITC Limited Uluberia in FMCG sector. Well done, ITC Uluberia. Afcons Infrastructure Limited Gujarat in construction and infrastructure sector. Shapurji Palanji 351 feet high Shiva statue project in construction and infrastructure sector once again. And BP Coatings Private Limited in paints and allied sector. Assam Carbon Products Limited in allied category. So these were the winners of the silver winners of the ICC National Occupational Health and Safety Awards 2020. And we will now move on to the gold winners. Vedanta Limited, manufacturing and engineering sector. Congratulations, Team Vedanta. Wonderful work done. And for impressing our jury members. Castrol India Limited was the gold winner in oil and gas sector. CESC Limited, Bojba Generating Station in power sector was the gold winner. Shapoji and Palanji SAU project in construction and infrastructure sector. Berger Paints India Limited Assam units in paint and allied sector. These were the gold winners of our National Occupational Health Safety Awards. And the most awaited platinum winners. The highest category awards, the platinum winners. And the platinum winner in manufacturing and engineering sector was ITC Limited Munger. Heartiest congratulations to ITC Munger for doing excellent work in your works in the occupational health safety sector. Moving on, the next platinum winner is L&T Limited onshore in oil and gas sector. Wonderful. Please applaud yourself because it's a virtual ceremony, but it was wonderful work done by the team. And congratulations to Mr. Nambiar and his team for this excellent achievement. Moving on, the next platinum winner is MCPI Limited. Congratulations, team MCPI, Mr. Sujit Vasu and your team. You have done wonderful work in this area, and jury was really impressed with the kind of demonstration that was shown by your team. And finally, in the construction and infrastructure sector, L&T Chennai was the winner, platinum winner in this awards for the year 2020. So this brings us to the end of the award ceremony and to the announcement rather of the award ceremony of the awards. Best wishes, heartiest congratulations to all the winners of both the awards of National OHS Awards as well as the Innovation Contest. And we look forward to more such innovative work done by you all for the next series of contests that we will be announcing very soon. Thank you very much. Thank you, panelists, and thank you, Dr. Sen, and our entire occupational health safety expert panel for their valuable guidance and for making this happen. Dr. Sen, would you like to add a few words?
Yeah. Good afternoon, Shoma. Thank you for taking us to the ceremony. Congratulations to the award winners. And I am sure with this motivation from the award, the team will be further stretching themselves to make the safety and health standards better and better. So kudos and congratulations to the team and also to the management of those organizations, because with the leadership only the occupational safety and health standards can improve. So I once again thank the ICC for effectively and very rationally organizing this program, and the jury team in the process has been very, very forthright in assessment process, and it was quite a long journey. So I think it went well, and once again, I hope more improvement in the country in OSH, which is our motto. So with this, I once again congratulate the participants, all the participants, the award winners, and the people who joining the meeting. So this thanks to everybody, the speakers as well. In the last session was wonderful. I was listening, and I think we will have similar small session in future, more and more. Thank you so much. I think you can formally take it to an end. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sen, and once again, thank you everybody, and we look forward to having you all in our forthcoming programs. So,
If the EC members are there, they can all, madam, if the EC members are there, and they can just put on the cameras if they're in the team, in the connected. So all the OHS panel members, I think they're connected, some of them. I can see Dr. Sahu and yeah, and Indranil was also there, I think. Yeah, Mr. Basu. Yeah. So whoever is there, those who have spoken and those who have been in the assessment process, if they can just appear for a while. Yeah. Formally, yeah. Right. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, ICC. Thank you, Dr. Sen.
Yeah.
Shoma madam, for an excellent session. Basically, a lot of things in this age also we are learning and try to adopt some new items with respect to the book presentation. We're hoping to make this presentation seminar in future. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Have a nice day. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you and bye.